You stand with Trump?
Heck yeah, go Trump!
You know why? Because the research says beautiful women stand with Trump and ugly women stand with Joe Biden.
Oh.
So it makes sense, right?
Right. Go
Nice to meet you. That's right. What's that? Why do you stand with
People
Trump?
don't like him just because he speaks the truth most of the time. I mean, he was the first president who didn't start a war. I mean, he kept the borders up for a reason. And since we haven't had him, more crime has gone up. So
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your words. God bless you and God bless Trump.
Thank you.
I think you stand with Trump.
I'm not stupid.
I could tell the minute I saw you, your eyes lit up when you saw the Trump flags.
Stupid.
As I told her, you know why you stand with Trump? Because beautiful people stand with Trump.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Huh?
How's your drink? That drink looks
It's
beautiful.
really good. It's,
really
a
good.
mocktail.
Mocktail looks delicious.
From one of the vendors.
So what was your answer? Why do you stand with Trump?
I stand with Trump because he's basically representing us, and everything that they're doing to him is what they can do to us.
Yeah.
And the system is broken, and you know, he's fighting for us. You know, so I like his policies. I like how he says it like it is, and you know, and Biden gotta go. I'm sick of him.
And what would you say to a black person that says that you're not black because you're voting for Trump?
Well, then I guess I identify as a white man. I don't know. I don't care what anybody has to say. I'm a mother. I care about the future of my child, and I care about policies over, you know, rhetoric.
All right, guys, so what you just saw there were beautiful, smart, intelligent women who hopefully on election day are going to do the right thing. Now, those videos were courtesy of Mr. Adam Francisco. You guys can follow him on social media. He does great work. But what he is highlighting is that there are women who are using logic and reasoning when it comes to how they're going to vote in 2024. Okay, they're not thinking with their emotions, right? They're actually being rational voters. And anybody that is rational should go and vote for President Trump in the general election. Okay, I think that that's a fair statement to say. Okay, I don't understand how anybody can call themselves rational that chooses to vote for Joe Biden. Okay, however, unfortunately, those women probably represent a minority of women. If they are single, I have no idea if they're single, but a vast majority of single young women tend to overwhelmingly vote Democrat. I think it is a 60+% clip. Single women are voting for Democrats. Now, the reason why they're voting for Democrats, in my opinion, is because, one, they're thinking about themselves and not thinking about the country as a whole, right? Even though the policies that Democrats put out there that are supposed to be beneficial for women are actually detrimental to society as a whole. Like, for example, being pro-abortion, okay, that is detrimental to society as a whole. But again, they line up and they vote for Democrats because they think that their rights are being taken away. They also love to be dependent on the government, okay, which is something that Democrats, always push. They don't want any type of accountability or responsibility for young women. They want to try to put women in positions of power. And again, Democrat is overwhelmingly a pro-liberal woman party, okay? And again, that, in my opinion, is not good for the country as a whole, right? But they do that in order to get the woman vote because the woman is not thinking rationally. They're thinking emotionally for the most part, unless she's in the presence of a strong man who's thinking rationally, like, I don't know, her father or her husband who most likely is going to vote conservative, is going to vote Republican. Now, again, if she's in the presence of a liberal man who probably most likely is thinking more emotionally, thinking more like a woman, then, she may tend to vote Democrat anyways. But for the most part, right, under the influence of a man, a woman can tend to vote rationally, okay, and in the best interest of the country and not vote so selfishly, which is what a lot of these women tend to do, okay, which is why you see married women, more than half vote Republican. In fact, the only demographic group when you're talking about marital status and gender that vote overwhelmingly for Democrats are single women. Single men, and married women vote Republican, okay? So, again, the reason why is because, again, single women tend to not have the influence of a rational man around them. So they think that they're voting in their best interest when what they're actually really voting for is actually not in the best interest of the country as a whole. And then they turn around and end up complaining about some of these policies, okay, that they voted for, that they thought was in their best interest, but really is not in their best interest, right? And This video right here is exactly what I'm talking about, as you have this woman who took to TikTok, this Gen Z woman, first time voter, by the way. This person's voting. She's probably, what, in her early 20s. And she doesn't understand why anybody will vote for Trump, okay? And I want to react to it because I think that this video, we can learn a lot about how young women think when it comes to voting. So without further ado, let's get into it.
As someone who's voting this year, and it's my first year voting, I just wanted to come on here and talk about this, especially after the results from the primaries. I genuinely cannot wrap my fucking brain around the fact that anyone could vote for Donald Trump. I do not care if you like that he's Republican. I don't care if you like his policies.
Okay, so there we go. Let's stop right there. Okay, so the beautiful black woman that I played at the beginning of this video, she said, I'm not voting for Biden because I'm not stupid. Okay, and she said, I don't care about rhetoric. I care about policies. Okay, so when you talk about policies, it's hard to make an argument that Biden's policies have been better for this country than Trump's. Okay, if you look at any of the numbers, any of the statistics, just look at how people are feeling, right? I mean, even though the government numbers suggest that Biden's economy is not terrible, that's not how the people are feeling, right? The people are saying that the economy is terrible. This is the worst that they've ever been in a long, long, long time when it comes to their finances, okay? So when you look at the policies, if you're voting rationally, which you should be voting based on policies, clearly and obviously people are going to go with Trump, right? At the end of the day. But this person right here, okay, who cannot understand why anybody would vote for Trump, says she doesn't care about policy, okay? And that's exactly what I'm talking about when we talk about how you have these young women voters who aren't voting rationally, right? They're not actually thinking rationally when it comes to how they vote, okay? They're saying, well, I don't care about policy. Doesn't matter. What I care about, what they care about is emotions. All this stuff is emotional, okay? It's not about what's best for the country. It's not even really about what's best for them. It's what they think is best for them, but it's really not what's good for them, because these are the same people that will turn around and complain about the cost of living, right? They'll say, oh, well, things are too expensive. Why do I have to work so much? Why do I have to work more than 40 hours a week and get a part-time job in order to survive? Why can't I afford a one-bedroom apartment? Why are the cost of groceries so high? But at the same time, they'll tell you about how, well, policies don't matter. I don't care about Trump's policies. I don't care that inflation was flatlining under Trump, right? I mean, we had minimum inflation under Trump, okay? We had great economic growth with minimum inflation under Trump. With Biden, we have historic inflation that has risen so fast that the American people aren't even used to it. We're shocked, right? It's a shock. And it's continuing to compound, right? And it's only getting worse, okay? Despite what the Biden administration is saying. But again, these people can't make that connection between their vote and the conditions that they're living in, the things they're complaining about, but then they'll turn around and tell you, well, I don't care about policy, right? That's where the disconnect is at, okay? This is why, videos like this, it really blows my mind, okay? But again, this young woman, one day, she will definitely wake up when she, actually has a family, actually really, really, really starts to pay bills and have kids and whatnot, and hopefully gets married. She will wake up and see, okay, well, I was very young and naive when I said that, right? What I said didn't make any sense, okay? This is what she'll realize.
He is being prosecuted for 91 fucking criminal charges. The President of the United States is a figurehead for the country. So how the fuck do people think that the figurehead of our country should be someone who is paying hundreds of $1,000s to a stripper, who has been impeached twice, the only president to have been impeached twice, and only 3 other presidents have ever been impeached once?
Again, all emotions, right? All emotions that she probably has gotten because she watches MSNBC, right? These are straight MSNBC talking points, okay? She probably doesn't realize that the impeachments were scams, that Trump was found not guilty in the Senate trials, and both of those impeachments, those were political, okay? The Stormy McDaniels thing is political. A lot of this stuff is political. They're trying to go after Trump. They're trying to take Trump down because he's a threat to the establishment, especially when it comes to their agenda on foreign policy. Again, she doesn't understand all that, okay? And again, this is why, I'm not one of these people that comes out here and is always talking about democracy. Everybody needs to get out and vote. No. Everybody don't need to get out and vote. because everybody's not thinking rationally when it comes to how they vote. A lot of people are thinking emotionally, okay? And that's fine. You know, it is what it is. I mean, you know, I don't blame her. She's a young woman. So she's going, you know, put a heart into it, right? Putting her heart into it. That's the way I'll frame it. But again, as men, we tend to take our hearts out of it and use our brains in our head and say, okay, we might not like everything that Trump does, but at the same time, we understand that policies come first. The state of the country as a whole comes first, right? Over my emotions, over how I feel about all the little things that really don't matter that much. Whose policies, whose agenda are better for the country as a whole? It's really that simple. Okay, that's what my vote comes down to in regards to how I think about it, period.
Inciting a riot and an insurrection at the Capitol, and people really think that this man should be the fucking figurehead of our country.
Yes, yes, I do, okay, because again, I'm not emotional about it, right? I'm not buying into the propaganda from the state-sponsored media. No. I'm actually thinking about it. I've come to my own conclusions about January 6th, about the impeachments, about all the things that she's complaining about, and I've decided that none of that matters to me, right? None of that matters. I don't give a damn. What I do know is that under Trump's leadership, that our country's in a much better place, right? And that's what really matters to me.
Imagine how that looks to foreign countries. Imagine how that impacts our foreign relations.
Well, they respected us, right? I mean, let's keep it 100. Under Trump, other countries respected us. This is why Putin didn't invade Ukraine, okay? This is why you have a bunch of nonsense going on in the Middle East. This is why Kim Jong-un was under control, right? This is why Iran was under control. Well, the reason why is because they respected us, okay? They can say what they want. Democrats can say whatever they want about how the world's leadership thinks about Trump, but we were respected, period, okay? Because they know Trump wasn't playing no games, okay? He wasn't playing no games. But think about how the world views us right now. I mean, look at who we have in office. We have an empty suit, okay? We have a cognitively deficient president. Right? You think that any of our world leaders actually respect Joe Biden, right? When they sit down and have a conversation with a man that is talking about meeting with dead people, do you think they actually really respect him? Hell no, they don't respect him. Nobody respects him, okay? This is why Putin decided he was going to invade Ukraine, because it's like, I don't respect Biden, right? Again, Putin decided that, hey, under Bush, I'm going to invade a country. Under Obama, I'm going to invade a country. Under Trump, I'm not going to invade a country. But once that guy got out of office, I'm about to invade another country, right? It's just funny how that works. Okay, they want to talk about how other world leaders view Trump. But again, objectively speaking, one of the reasons why we didn't have all these new conflicts under Trump is because he was respected, right? People knew not to play with him, right? And if you did try to play with Trump, if you did try Trump, then you know what happens. There's consequences. Like, look at what happened to General Soleimani, okay? When Iran tried to play Trump, Trump showed them real quick. We don't play this game, okay? And then he threw up the American flag like the set. It is what it is, okay? People might find it to be controversial or whatever, but it is what it is. He showed that, hey, I'm the alpha male here. I'm running the show. Don't F with us, okay? It is what it is. He was respected. I don't care how much the mainstream liberal media complains, right? So again, what you have right here, it's not her fault. It's MSNBC. It's CNN. This is the type of media that she consumes. She probably overwhelmingly watches, liberal television, and this is your brain on liberalism, right? This is not rational thinking, okay? It's all emotions.
Like, it's actually so fucked. He could go to jail. President from jail? Like, what? He could genuinely be acting as president in jail. It blows my fucking mind. I genuinely cannot comprehend. Like, are Trump supporters actually just stupid? Did you get dropped on your head as a baby? It's not even the Republican versus Democrat thing. Like, Nikki Haley being president would be fine, but she lost in like every primary, which does not make any sense to me.
Yeah, of course it doesn't make any sense to you, because you've already told us that policies don't matter, right? So you already told us that the way that you're thinking is not the way a rational person would think about voting. So of course it's not gonna make sense to you, right? And again, I don't blame her. I'm not, this is me just simply responding to some of the points that she was making and just saying that, listen, at the end of the day, looking at videos like this, you can see why 60% of single women are voting Democrat, right? Because, again, they're clearly not thinking about policies, okay? That's not what they're voting based off. They're voting based off emotion, okay? The things they hear on state-sponsored liberal media, right? So again, you know, hopefully one day this woman will wake up, and it probably won't happen until she gets married and have kids and, you know, finds a good man in her life. But, you know, it is what it is. Until then, these will be the same people that will boohoo whine and cry about how hard it is to be a Gen Zer and how hard it is to go to work every single day and why everything costs so much. But we'll turn around and vote for these same things that they're complaining about. Again, it's fascinating stuff. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.